We're joined by head coach Tony Annese after the Bulldogs pulled out a big-time GLIAC victory this past weekend at home against Michigan Tech. Coach, some things that you really liked from that game as you look to take forward into the Grand Valley game this week.
Well, I just thought we had good rhythm on all sides of the ball. Obviously starting like with your first play of the game being a touchdown, and we had 30 at halftime, so that's very rare to score against Michigan Tech at that pace. So very pleased about that. I thought our defense played really good, and special teams were solid too. So all in all, a really good team victory.
This weekend you're playing Grand Valley down in Allendale for the Anchor Bone Classic. Just talk about the rivalry between these two schools and the preparation this week as you prepare to play the Lakers.
Yeah, it's a great rivalry. Awesome for both institutions. There was a time where this wasn't much of a game. So at a certain point in time, Ferris got it together and made it a very competitive game. And since then, the story's been, huge implications, but not for what fans think the implications are for both institutions. I'm assuming, winning the GLIAC, 1, 2, playoff position for regional rankings. Those are really big factors. They've beaten us a couple times in a row, and I see their coaches. I haven't heard one. People call it bragging rights. I haven't heard one Grand Valley guy brag, and so it really isn't that. It's more about what I talked about in regards to winning the GLIAC and obviously having a good spot in the playoffs.
Last time these two teams played was in the playoffs, and you weren't able to be on the sideline. How excited are you to be able to be back on the sideline this time?
Well, it's a lot easier, right? It was a very hard thing to go through, to not be able to be there. Actually, I could have been there, but I didn't want to be there and have to go through some of the challenging things I might go through if I'm in a crowd that doesn't want me to be there. So I chose not to be there, and it was hard. It was hard really because as I look back, our season ended, and I want to be there with the guys. I had guys that played with me a long time that I love immensely, and so that was the hardest part.
And then Trinidad's first start against Grand Valley. I mean, just how excited are you for him and kind of calming his nerves in that game?
It's just another game, so he's got another start. So it really doesn't matter if it's Grand Valley or who it is. You just got to, stay within yourself. And that's the kind of deal that, you can really, say the same thing. Avery Moore hasn't probably started in this game, but he's a seasoned player and very confident player. And so, it just is what it is. It's two programs where every individual and every coach wants to just perform at their best, and hopefully that's how it works Saturday.
I believe your third straight game now at Lubbers when you guys have played. With the amount of times you guys have been on the road, is that a possible edge, knowing you guys know what that's been like? You played 2 games there last year. You're going to play there again this year?
Yeah, it's actually going to be the 4th in a row there. We beat them in 2022 in the regional championship, and beat them in 21 there. And so obviously, we've been there that many times. We're used to being there, so I don't know. People can say what they want, but they came here in 22 and beat us in the regular season, and so. They beat us last year. They beat us last there. And so it is what it is. We'll just go there and do our best to perform at our best.
You name the implications, playoff, winning the GLIAC. How do you make sure your team is focused on just that? They don't look past what you're just hoping this game is and get this to be a little more personal of a rivalry.
Yeah, we've had our shares of victories against them. More than our fair share, so we know, we know what we need to do, and so you just stay locked in on the process. You don't worry about the hype. The hype doesn't matter to us. The hype isn't a focal point. It matters to my daughter and one of my brothers, if not all of them. But for us, we just want to stay locked in on the process of just being our best and performing, in front of a good crowd. I don't know. I think that probably there's a bigger game in Michigan. I don't know if we're going to have 112,000 or whatever they have there, but it'll be fun.
My last question, how cool is the hype, though, for people outside the program, for just Western Michigan, to have these two teams play each other every year?
Well, Western Michigan should feel blessed. Ferris State, Grand Valley, Davenport, all of West Michigan, if you're a football fan, that you should feel blessed that you got programs like this. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Like if you look at the success of their program and what we've done here, and then what Davenport's done, it's like it really is mind-boggling. And so everybody should be really pleased about what these programs have done, and really be excited to support all these programs moving forward.